Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the Orix Buffaloes and the Saitama Seibu Lions, the second game of a three-game set between these ball clubs. Yesterday, it was the Orix Buffaloes coming from behind late to knock off the Saitama Seibu Lions. The Buffaloes scored at 2 in the ninth and 4 in the 10th to win the ball game 6-2. It looked like the game was firmly in control, but looked like that the offense of the Buffaloes was non-existent for the first 8 innings. And all of a sudden, they erupted for 6 runs in the ninth, or 2 in the ninth and 4 in the 10th to pace them to the 6-2 victory over the Lions. Tonight, it is going to be a tantalizing pitching matchup. Going for the Buffaloes will be Anderson Espinoza. He's going to be taking on Chihiro Sumida, who will put his 3-0 record on the line for the Lions. Where, first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineup for the visitors. For the Orix Buffaloes, leading off and playing at third base is number 30, Taishi Haruka. Hitting second at shortstop is number 24, Kataro Kobayashi. And the third spot and playing second base is number 31, Ryo Oda. And the cleanup spot and playing in right field is number 99, Yutaro Sugimoto. Batting fifth in left field is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. Hitting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 54, Jordan Diaz. Batting in the 7th spot and playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting 8th and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And batting 9th in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. And it is going to be it's going to be Chihiro Sumida who takes to the hill for the Lions. He is 3-0 on the year. He's worked 24 innings in his 3 starts. He's allowed 13 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned. He's walked 2, struck out 19, and he's got an ERA of 0.75. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Osaka. Now your starting lineup for the Saitama Seibu Lions. Leading off in center field is number 51, Manaya Nishikawa. Hitting second in right field is number 63, Shinya Hasegawa. Batting third in left field is number 8, Seiya Watanabee. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 26, Tyler Nevin. Batting fifth at third base is number 5, Shuta Tonosaki. Hitting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 60, Takiya Nakamura. Batting seventh at second base is number 67, Daiju Nomura. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 22, Yota Koga. And batting ninth at shortstop is number 62, Tatsuo Takezawa. And they are going to be facing Anderson Espinoza, who doesn't have a record on the year. In his 3 starts, he's worked 18 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 16 hits, 5 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 7 and struck out 19, and he's got himself a 245 earned run average. Well, those are your starting lineups, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. We appreciate you guys for jumping in, whether you listen live or on delay. It is Buffaloes and Lions when we return after this. And hopefully we'll be able to hold up for you tonight as we were away for a little bit, but not only that, a little under the weather as well. So we'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hold tight. We'll be right back. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Rouse Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Chihiro Sumida completing his warm-up tosses as the lefty is getting ready to go here, as he is going to be facing the top of the order here for the Buffaloes in inning number 1. It'll be Haruka, Kobayashi, and Oda to come to bat to face the left-hander here. As we mentioned, we were away for a little bit and also, too, a little bit under the weather. So even though we weren't able to get any action in the last 6 days, we are back on here tonight, tomorrow, Sunday for some Major League Baseball, and some Sunday night or Monday baseball, I should say Monday night baseball in Japan, which would be their Tuesday stuff, but Monday in North America. And that is where we stand. Well, we're ready to get this one underway, as it is the lefty Sumida who is ready to get this one going. The first pitch of the ball game is ready to come here to Taishi Haruka. Haruka hitting .391 to start the year with a homer and an RBI. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Our friend Harrison says he's back, and we're glad you're back, Harrison, as we were down for the count for a few days this week. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-2, and so we're hoping that our voice is going to be able to hold up here for the whole duration of the game here tonight. Harrison said, tough game for the Mets. I haven't actually looked at the scoring in Major League Baseball tonight, as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. Titus in the house tonight from the land of the rising sun, and we always welcome you into the stream. We appreciate you for being here with us. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Sumida rocks into the delivery, and he delivers a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2 to Haruka. It was a rough feeling. It was literally about 16 hours in bed in a 24-hour window. Fever the whole 9 yards. Friend Harrison said they won in walk-off fashion. There's a breaking ball swung on it. His grounded foul just past the bag at third base, and the count remains at 1-2. And the amazing part was I was going to call a game on Saturday last week. And I had before I was on my way down to Seattle, I was going to do a game Saturday night. I absolutely felt like hot garbage. And I took a nap and was all ready. I said, I'll take a nap. We'll get ourselves ready to go. And woke up from the nap, and I felt like I got hit by a train. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefties kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to be grounded up the middle for a base hit. And Haruka is aboard with a leadoff single to begin the first inning here, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Kentaro Kobayashi. Harrison says the Nationals beat the Mets. Now, I haven't really paid attention tonight, so I didn't see any of the action. I just took a brief peek at the NFL draft boards. But outside of that, not really much other action that I took a look at it all at this point. It's going to bring Kobayashi to the plate. He's hitting .284 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Haruka establishes his lead at first. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 in the dirt. Sumida snap throws over and diving back in time is the runner Haruka. Defensively tonight for the Lions from left to right field, Watanabe is in left. The center fielder is Nishikawa, and right field it's Hasegawa. It's looking like pretty much the standard early outfield for the Lions. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count's 1-0 to Kobayashi. Round the horn, Nevin is at first. Second baseman, it's Nomura. At shortstop tonight, it is Takazawa, with the third baseman, Tonosaki, with the battery of Sumida and Koga. As the lefty leans in and gets the sign from his catcher as he works set. Now he kicks and he fires. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As mentioned, a little bit under the weather, but hopefully today it'll be a lot easier, or at least hopefully should feel a lot easier. So 2 balls and no strikes, and waiting on deck will be Oda as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung. This is lined to the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Moving under and around it to field it is the left fielder Watanabe, and that is going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring Ryo Oda to the plate. And for Oda, he's enjoyed himself an unbelievable start to the season. He's hitting .424 in the early going. He's got 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. He gets the start at second base tonight for the Buffaloes, and it's making it a really easy decision to keep him in the lineup every single night. Ryo Oda has been absolutely outstanding for the Buffaloes early on. And the thing is with Oda, he's 24 years old. He was the first pick in the 2018 draft. Last year was really the first year he started to see some regular playing time, as the pitch instead is a spaghetti move that chases the runner back to second base. So runner at second, Haruka, runner at first, Kobayashi, Oda here at the plate. And Oda has been leading in a lot of statistical categories in the Pacific League. As we mentioned, his batting average is number 1. His RBIs. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Oda. So no balls and 1 strike. On top of it, his 39 hits and 92 at-bats is clearly a leader in that category as well. As the lefty Samita checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses inside, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Again, Samita ready to go as he's gets himself the sign from his catcher Koga. Works himself to the side. I don't even know if it's a full house in Saitama tonight for this one. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. Tomorrow night's ball game is going to be the Bay Stars and the Carp. We're looking forward to looking in on the call for that one. We'll get you the starting pitchers for that matchup shortly, as it should be announced here any moment. Usually about 24 hours out, they will make the formal announcement as who's going to start. And it is going to be Trevor Bauer tomorrow night against Shogo Tamamura. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses inside. It's now 2-2 to Oda. So we took a gamble and guessed that maybe Bauer would go tomorrow, and it looks like we won that guess. It'll be the 2 o'clock local time, 10 p.m. if you are in North America. As we will give you our comments on how he does. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryo Oda. Runner at second, Haruka. Runner at first, Kobayashi, as Samita works himself to the set. Haruka inching himself off the bag at second base, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Oda stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that go by for out number 1. I have to tell you, the home plate umpire for this one here tonight is one of the most emphatic called third strike calls in the game in the NPB. That is the umpire Shikita, who was behind the dish here for this one. So Oda rung up here for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Yataro Sugimoto. Sugimoto also off to a hot start, hitting .344 in the early going with 4 homers and 8 RBIs. Showing his form from a couple of seasons ago as he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Sugimoto. Buffaloes Lions here, top of the first inning. As the lefty Samita works himself to the set position. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Pitch is on the way. There's a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And for those of you who are checking in or do pop in, we appreciate you guys for jumping in and hanging in here with us tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. Always great to have you guys listening in. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty holds set again, checks the runner and delivers. Breaking ball waved that and missed, and Sugimoto's in the books. So 2 singles to start the inning and 2 strikeouts here so far to the 3 and 4 hitters. That's going to leave it up to the left fielder and Ryoma Nishikawa. So Samita bearing down when he needed to get the next 2 outs, and Nishikawa striding to the plate. For Nishikawa, well, he is hitting .292 in the early going with no homers and 8 RBIs. He did have himself a rather abysmal spring season. But boy, has he got it going now here in the regular season. 26 for 89 at the plate. Not a lot of power in the stick for the former Carp. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nishikawa. Currently, the Buffaloes are still perched atop first place in the Pacific League. They are enjoying a 2.5 game lead over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. 3 teams are tied for second, or I should say at 500. And they're all 2.5 games behind the Orix Buffaloes. As that breaking ball drops in for a call and strike, the count is 1-1. This is a battle of worst versus first. The Buffaloes are 13-8. They're much more impressive on the road. They are 9-1 on the road. Only 4-7 at home are the Buffaloes. Lions are currently 3-6 at home and 6-6 on the road. Pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and away. The count goes to 2-1. And the other part that is interesting is that there is not a single team in the Pacific League that has a winning home record. The 2 teams that are probably the closest, or at least maybe the 1 team that's the closest, could be the Lions. They're 3-6. Marines and Buffaloes are 4-7. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses down and away. It's now 3-1 to Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The hottest team in the Pacific League over the last 10 has been the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They've flapped their wings out of the lower part and are all the way up into second place. In that 3-way tie with the Marines and the Fighters as the 3-1 pitch is on the way. Breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 3-2 on Nishikawa. Well, the runners are going to be in motion here as when Samita delivers to the plate. As the lefty ready to face the lefty here. I was going to make sure the pitcher goes to the dish. So here comes the 3-2 offering as a catcher Koga gives his signs to his lefty. As Samita works himself to the set. 3-2 coming. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and that's going to load the bases. So Nishikawa with a 2-out walk. Advancing to third is Haruka. Over to second is Kobayashi. And that is going to bring the designated hitter, Jordan Diaz, to the plate. And for us, this is the first time we've seen Jordan Diaz, at least in the regular season. Diaz batting .257 on the year, no homers and a couple of runs batted in. Diaz was a off-season free agent acquisition. He had played with the Oakland Athletics at the big league level. 24 years old. He is Colombian, as there's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Diaz. Crowd is chanting here for the Buffaloes, the visiting crowd that is. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-1. Diaz had a bit of a sketchy, what I would call exhibition season, kind of off to a bit of a slow start. And so we saw he only had a couple of hits in the exhibition season. Now he's 9 for 35 here in the regular season. But he has not showed a lot of pop yet. Only 1 extra base hit of those 9. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. Looks like Diaz actually checked that. It was actually a split finger pitch. I always forget. When you don't think of the left-handers and split fingers in Major League Baseball, or at least I don't anyway, unless they're Japanese or Korean. Usually the North American lefties, that's not a pitch that we see the lefties throw. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Samita works to the set. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. The count goes to 2-2 on Diaz. I have to tell you, though, Diaz at the plate, he looks like one tough customer. You look at his approach at the plate. He's a big, solid guy in that lower half. Big legs, really, really strong trunk. Explosive core. Colombian native here waiting on the offering from the lefty Samita, who holds to the set. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. On the way, fastball swung on, belted into left field. Coming over and making the catch on the run is the left fielder Watanabee, and that is going to do it. Well, Diaz gave it a ride, just didn't get it far enough, and he is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was a pair of hits. There was no errors. And the Buffaloes strand the bases loaded here. We are now through a half inning. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight, whether you listen live or on delay on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Lions coming to bat when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Manaya Nishikawa, Shinya Hasegawa, and Seiya Watanabee, the 1-2-3 hitters for the Lions to face Anderson Espinoza. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and in for ball 1. Nishikawa hitting .241 on the year with a homer and 5 RBIs. He got the nod in center field tonight. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that is swung on and fouled straight back, and the count goes even at 1-1. I have to tell you, it is impressive to watch Espinoza pitch. He's got a lot of life on his fastball. Ball does flutter as it gets close to the dish. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in. The count now goes to 2-1 on Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the pitch is on its way, it's a fastball that misses down. Neither pitcher is getting the low fastball tonight. I think they're going to have to work a little higher in the knees. Or at least they're going to have to establish something a little bit better. 3-1 on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. Nishikawa is going to get himself a leadoff walk here. That'll start the bottom of the first inning. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Shinya Hasegawa. Going to have to keep an eye on Nishikawa. He can run a little bit. He does have 6 stolen bases this year. I wouldn't bat an eye that they'll put him in motion against Espinoza. So Hasegawa stepping to the plate, batting 157. No homers and a couple RBIs. Last year, both Nishikawa and Hasegawa got themselves a lot of opportunity. Hasegawa getting a long lookout in right field. Oh, he's going to have to pick up his bat here as the first pitch from fastball from Espinoza misses way outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-handed hitting a right fielder of the Lions. Touches the other side of the plate, gets himself set, ready to go here again against Espinoza. As Espinoza works himself to the set. And here comes the 1-0 as he kicks and delivers. Oh, he's squaring to bunt. Here's Hasegawa, and he pulls back, and he takes it for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. We were taking a look at the standings across the NPB. Over in the Central League, the Tigers are top of the heap as they have a half-game lead on the Carp. We're ahead of the Giants as the 1-1 pitch is ready to go, but instead Espinoza throws to first and diving back in time. And it is a very, very strange-looking standings. You've got the defending Japan Series champions, Yokohama, right at the bottom of the table. You normally see the Swallows or the Dragons anchored down there as the 1-1 pitch is ready to come here from Espinoza. I don't think we'll see Yokohama there long. They're just too good to be there as the 1-1 on the way as a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. I think their pitching's too good. Too good to be where they're at anyway. The Swallows, very fortunate. They didn't get blown out of the water. They had a lot of injuries going into the season. But the Tigers are right now leading the way in that Central League. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Hasegawa. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we mentioned, tomorrow night, it'll be Carp and Bay Stars. Trevor Bauer making another appearance for the Bay Stars. I didn't get a chance to see his last update on his last outing. I'll have to take a quick peek to see where he would fit in. He hasn't won a game yet. He's 0-3 in the NPB. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Hasegawa. Thinking of Trevor Bauer, 0-3. He's worked 18 innings. He's allowed a lot of hits, 22 hits. He hasn't walked a ton. But his strikeout rate isn't where it needs to be. So saying that he wants to win those are not Sawamura award numbers. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Hasegawa, he didn't like the call, and he leans backwards. He's going to make his way back to the dugout, and that's going to be it for him. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Seiya Watanabee. Well, for Watanabe, he's hitting .426 in the early going. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. As the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set position. And here comes the first offering. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Watanabe. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friends Jason's Stuff is in the house. We welcome you. And, of course, he's always fist pumping for the Buffaloes. Hope you're doing well, Jason. As the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set, here comes the 1-0 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and away. There goes a runner down to second. The throw is not in time. It looks like Nishikawa is going to get himself his 7th stolen base of the year. I wonder if they're going to go take a peek at this one here. We're just going to pause. It looks like the manager of the Buffaloes is going to have the umpires go have a look. I don't know. At first thought, I think he was all right. But the manager, Mamoru Kishida, thinks otherwise. We'll have to get the look at the queued up replays here. I'm going to get a look here and we'll be able to see. I think it's a wasted challenge. I think the Buffaloes are going to lose it. That's my first instinct right out of the gate. We'll have to get a look at a couple of the other angles. The original angle that we had, I don't think that's enough to overturn it. As far as I'm concerned, yeah. The tag was also a high tag right into the crotch area of all places. Oda was able to have to walk the ladder. If the throw was a little bit better from the catcher Wakatsuki, I would have probably said that I'm going to do it. This is a quick call. Here comes the umpire, and they say he's safe, and they have just lost themselves a challenge. So it is going to be a stolen base in the books there for Nishikawa. He's now in scoring position at second base. I didn't get the last pitch. That was a ball or a strike. So runner at second is Nishikawa. It's 2 balls and no strikes here to Watanabe. And the Buffaloes are getting themselves in a little bit of a pickle here on the bottom half of the first inning. Jason says he's doing really well. And we got B's action tonight. Yeah, absolutely it is. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. It is popped foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-1 to Watanabe. Yeah, well, not a lot of people in the stream tonight for this one, but who knows? We finally got our monetization back, so that's a highlight. A little bit of a long road there. We got our fingers wrapped by YouTube. That's what happens sometimes. We were not adding enough content to some of our shorts, and I guess they have a point. As Jason says, he'll be right back. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Espinoza. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that just misses down and away, and it's now 3-1 to Watanabe. So 3 balls and a strike. Watanabe waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the right-hander. As Espinoza checks the runner, now delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike. Oh, boy. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those nights. The home plate umpire is not right out of the hop endeared himself. That last pitch looked like it was outside. Looked like it was probably up, but the right hand is going to bring Watanabe back to the plate. Come on back here, Rook. I think is what that had to be said. As the 3-2 is on the way. Breaking ball misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4, and Watanabe is going to be aboard. So 2 walks here to the first 3 batters. I've got the Lions at first and second. It's going to bring Tyler Nevin to the plate. For Nevin, he has started to heat up lately. He's hitting .253 now with a homer and 9 RBIs. His running mate, Leandro Cedeno, was demoted earlier in the week to the farm team. As they said, it was a performance-related. He wasn't hitting well enough in the eyes of the Saitama Seibu Lion brass. As the right-hander Espinoza works to the set, kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Nevin. Nevin hitting .253, homer and 9 runs batted in. Had himself a really good spring. He has yet to parlay that into a regular season run here for the Lions. It is early here, and he is starting to get it going. There's a fastball. It's taken at the knees for called strike. Now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. That last pitch, was it a good pitch? I don't know. I think that Nevin might have a beef with that. Looked a little bit on the low side. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Racing back, still racing back, and on the warning track, turning and making the catch is the center fielder, Kai Nakagawa. He's going to fire it back in. Tagging at second and heading to third is Nishikawa. That one's going to be retired for the second out of the inning to get to the deepest part of the ballpark, but he's gone for the second out. Ended up, Nakagawa looked like he got turned around, but got on the edge of the warning track, made the catch, fired it back in. That's going to bring up Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. And for Tonosaki, he is batting .278 on the season with a homer and 6 runs batted in. Tonosaki steps in, touches the bat to the other side of the plate, and he's ready to get going here against the right-hander Espinoza. Very open stance for the third baseman of the Lions as Espinoza kicks and fires. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1 to Tonosaki. Pretty healthy crowd in the outfield for the supporters here in this one. As we mentioned, there looks like there's still a lot of empty seats in patches of the stadium on the first and third base lines. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball just misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. So that's a pitch right there that I'd have to say a moment ago, Phil Nevin had that call to strike on him, but here's Tonosaki, and pitch isn't good enough. So it's hard to get a gauge for the strike zone of this home plate umpire tonight. As I said, he's got one of the best third strikes in all the game. But he is right now a little bit erratic in his balls and strikes. Breaking ball misses down and away. The appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say Tonosaki didn't go, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And upon our review, I might think that the umpire might need a review on that last call as well. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Tonosaki as the right-hander Anderson Espinoza works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, belted into left field, coming hard, and making the catch on the run is the left fielder Nishikawa, and that is going to do it. Tonosaki's in the books for the third out of the inning. Well, the Lions also threaten but don't score. There were no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes no score and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. The top of the second is just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We got a 0-0 score line. We're moving to the top of the second. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Chihiro Samita ready to deliver a first pitch fastball that is swung on and fouled away by Yuma Tongu. Count is quickly 0-1 Tongu, Wakatsuki, and Nakagawa here to face the left-hander in inning number 2. Tongu batting from the right side here as he waits on the offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count 0-2 to Tongu. Tongu batting .275 on the season, 5 homers and 12 RBIs. And ironically, can't get himself out of the 7th spot. That's how good the Buffaloes have been this year. There's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and Tongu is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's the 3rd strikeout on the books here for the left-hander Sumida. That's going to bring up the catcher in Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, for Wakatsuki, he's hitting .262 on the season. A couple homers and 6 runs batted in. It is the Buffaloes and the Lions. Second game of the 3-game set between these two ball clubs as the lefty Sumida rocks into the windup and delivers. Slow breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki, the right-handed hitting catcher of the Buffaloes. Waits here from the lefty Sumida, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-2. Looked like Wakatsuki may have been sitting soft on that, and he took a heater that went right on by him as the 0-2 is on the way. Fastball swung on it. He just lifts it foul down the right field line, and count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki waggles his bat, waiting here on the offering. As the lefty Sumida rocks himself into the windup. And there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul behind home plate. Count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Buffaloes and Lions. As we said, second game of a set. Full slate of games tonight across the NPB. As we'll keep an eye on all the out-of-town scores. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Sumida rocks himself into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder Hasegawa. He's there to make the catch, and that's going to put Wakatsuki away for the second out of the inning. We're up the center fielder in Kai Nakagawa. There is scoring outside of this one here, as in the game between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. The Eagles have struck first. They have a 1-0 lead after 2. Bottom of the second inning, the Dragons have a 3-0 lead over the Swallows. In the bottom of the second, the Tigers and the Giants are locked at 1. Everybody else, no scoring. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Nakagawa. Nakagawa hitting .297 on the year. Couple homers and 16 runs batted in, and your reward for that, you're batting 9th. There's a breaking ball that's tapped foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. Nakagawa getting the start in center field. I was kind of curious at the beginning of the year how he would be deployed. I would have to think he is the center fielder if he could keep himself healthy. As the 0-2 pitch is on its way, there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul down the right field line. 1-2 it remains. Although I remember under the previous manager, he would start the game in center field, and sometimes he would come over and finish it at first base. He would opt sometimes for just a little bit more wheels in center field. As the 0-2 is on the way, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. Last pitch was at 94 miles an hour on the gun. As the 1-2 pitch on the way here to Nakagawa. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that's down. The batter swings at it. It's going to be Koga fielding it and throwing to first. It's going to go down as a strikeout. 2-3 on the putout. That's going to be strikeout number 4 on the evening here for Sumida. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard as they go in order in inning number 2. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Lions 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for popping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat Takeya Nakamura, Daiju Nomura, and Yuta Koga. And the first pitch is fouled away by Nakamura, and the count is quickly 0-1. Harrison says he's back. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count goes to 0-2, and we're glad you're back there, Harrison. As it is no balls and 2 strikes to Takeya Nakamura. Nakamura 11 for 34. To begin the campaign. Not too bad for somebody who's going to be 42 years old. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. I had to say the one thing that would be the Achilles heel tonight for Espinoza will be the walks and too many pitches. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. Harrison says his Bay Stars are trash. Tomorrow night it'll be Bay Stars and Carp. We'll have it for you here as Trevor Bauer will be on the hill tomorrow. Fastball swung on. Popped up foul down the left field line, but it's going to go over the netting and into the seats. Count is 2-2. Nakamura. It's early, though. The Bay Stars have some pretty good pitching. They've been banged up a little bit on the offensive side. Certainly missing Austin. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count's 3-2. I wouldn't worry about any of that stuff early on here, although it does put you behind the 8 ball. We said in one of our other streams, a win in April is like 2 in September. So if you get off to a good start, there's a fastball swung on. It is lined into the left field corner. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first and heading into second is Nakamura, and he's going to reach there safely. So the big fella's got himself a leadoff double here to begin the second inning. It's going to bring up the second baseman in Daiju Nomura. Well, for Daiju Nomura, he couldn't have had a better spring. He couldn't have had a worse start to his 2025 campaign. It looks like he is finally starting to get this thing rolling now. As Nomura will stride to the plate. Nomura batting 115 now on the season. No homers and a couple of RBIs. He is 3 for 26. I do believe, if my memory serves me correct, I think he was 0 for 16 to start the year. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Nomura. Former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk, he is acquired in mid-season or early part of the season last year. Got some opportunity to play. Did hit 5 home runs last year for the Lions, so he does have a little bit of pop in the stick. That was in 178 at-bats. As the right-hander Espinoza holds set, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. But when a division rival is willing to wipe their hands clear on you, I got to tell you something. A Waseda High School, 3rd pick of the 18 draft. Waseda, of course, is one of the big names in Japan. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Buffaloes Lions, 0-0, bottom of the second inning. They do have a leadoff double here off the bat of Takeya Nakamura to the Lions to open up the inning. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Espinosa delivers. Fastball catches the outside corner. Count now goes to 2-2. I got to tell you, just the reactions of some of the players, the Lions and the Buffaloes, but they don't like the call from the home plate umpire. They are doing all kinds of stuff. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to put runners at the corners with nobody out. So Nakamura with the leadoff double, he advances over to third. Namura with the single, that puts runners, as we said, at first and third, and it's going to bring Yuta Koga to the plate. Harrison says, who are the Mets of the NPB? It's a good question. Who are the Mets? Maybe the Swallows, because they are the second team in Tokyo next to the Yomiuri Giants. Yomiuri Giants are sort of the glamour team. They're the New York Yankees of Tokyo. Well, you'd have to say that the New York Mets could arguably be the Yakult Swallows. I think they say that the Carp are like the Boston Red Sox of the NPB, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the analysis. Maybe the Tigers are like the Cubs. So here's the pitch from the right-hander Espinosa. It's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1 on Yuta Koga. Harrison says, Yakult has been bad. It makes sense. Yeah, they had a back-to-back NPB championships or championship runs. Was it in 2021 and 2022? Beat the Buffaloes and lost to the Buffaloes as that pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's 0-2 to Koga. So no balls and 2 strikes. So it's going to be a quiet night tonight, Harrison. Me and you, man. Everybody else is watching the National Hockey League playoffs or the NBA. I'm not sure. Either way, glad you could hang out and listen to the call. As I said, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do this one tonight. My voice has been rather dicey. Breaking ball down. Nice stop there by the catcher, Wakatsuki. It's going to keep the runner over at first, which is Namura. 1-2 it is here to Koga. Harrison says the Swallows jerseys are pretty good. He likes them a lot. Not sure which ones that they're wearing. They've got that sort of that lime green color that's kind of cool. As the 1-2 pitch ready to come here from Espinosa. That's a breaking ball swung on and is lifted foul down the right field line. Count goes to 1-2 or stays at 1-2 to Koga. Harrison says it might be because it's 2:30 a.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, we got a lot of West Coasters who make it into our games. Not sure what else is going on sports-wise tonight other than the draft. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Koga as Espinosa kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on and it's chopped fouled, so Koga stays alive to see another pitch. Almost looked like a knuckle curve coming out of the hand of Espinosa. Right-hander gets the sign again from his catcher. Harrison says, no, it's 149. It stayed at 2:30. Yeah, 2:30 still only 40 minutes away. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on, is chopped right back to the pitcher. Espinosa gets it, Now they got Nakamura in the rundown, and Wakatsuki's going to run him, and he's going to apply the tag, and that is going to go in the books as a fielder's choice. Nakamura gone. He's going to be gone. It is going to go in the books as a 1-2 putout. Safe at second is Nomura. Safe at first is Koga. I'm rather surprised that you would have to consider that a contact play. Nakamura does not run very well. That ball was chopped over the head. I'm not so sure that the shortstop, Kirby might not have been able to make that play as well. So Nakamura gets himself run out. 42-year-old, where are you going? That's going to bring up Natsuya Takezawa. Well, for Takezawa, he is hitting .277, homers and 1 RBI. Just a little guy as the pitches a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. So Buffaloes baseball, as well as Lions baseball. So Pacific League ball at its finest. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Checks the runner. Now he delivers. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like Samita is settling in. Espinosa has not really been sharp in either of his 2 innings of work. And the way that he is going, one would have to think that it's going to be a struggle for him to get through 5. Again, the right-hander works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-1. On the left-handed hitting shortstop of the Lions. Lions have been playing better ball as of late. We're talking about teams and getting off of the schneid, although I have to say that they are in the cellars still, but only 3 games below 500, much better than maybe some would have expected. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Squaring to bunt is Taizawa, and he almost gets hit. They go over to the third base umpire, and they say he didn't go. Runs the count to 3-1. A little late for the Lions. Think about bunting, you would have thought. But the brain trust finds that to be a bit amusing. Our friend Harrison says, who is the home team, Lions or Orix? Well, across the bottom, you'll see Buffaloes at Lions. So that would indicate that the Lions would be the home team. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. Count now goes full to Takezawa. Harrison says, who is the OI6 minor league team? Well, there's a couple of teams that are new because there's talk about expansion of the NPB in a couple of years. So they wanted to be able to get the minor leagues playing, or at least up to speed. 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on, popped up. It is not going to be playable. It's going to drift into the seats over on the first base side of home plate. Count is 3-2. It remains on Takezawa. I forget the other squad that's there. So basically you've got 14 teams in the NPB minor league. 2 of them do not have any direct affiliates. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. And the pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on, lifted in the netting down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. Harrison says they're blue and orange. Yeah, sounds about right. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Takezawa. It's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here, delivered by the right-hander Espinosa. 1 gone, runner at second, Nomura, runner at first, Koga. 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on a grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. The count remains full. It's going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. And already Espinosa with only 1 out here in the second, already up to 50 pitches. Harrison says 2-0 for the Bay Stars. That might keep you up for a while there, Harrison. Gotta get a chance to beat up on the Carp. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side, and it's going to get past the diving second baseman Oda into right field. Coming up with it with a nice throw to the plate is Sugimoto. That is going to load the bases here. Nomura, the runner at third, Koga, the runner at second. The single by Takazawa has loaded the bases. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Manaya Nishikawa. And for Nishikawa, well, he walked to start the ball game. He has himself a stolen base, but he was left stranded in the first inning. It's also going to bring a conference to the mound as the pitching coach came out to see what exactly is going on with the Buffalo right-hander. So Nishikawa stepping to the plate. The Buffaloes defense is in. We're going to try to cut the run off at the plate here in the early going. Batting .241 on the year, homer and 5 RBIs for the left-handed hitting center fielder of the Lions. Espinosa holds himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. On the way, fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Bottom of the second inning, Lions threatening here as they got the bases loaded with 1 gone as the right-hander Espinosa holds set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses way upstairs. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The game is at the Balluna Dome tonight, as the Lions are the home team for this one. Second game of a 3-game series. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded over to first. That's going to be fielded in foul territory by the first baseman Tongu. It's going to run the count to 1-2 on Nishikawa. Our friend Harrison says he had an 8 a.m. class. First of all, Harrison, 8 a.m. class on a Friday is pretty much forbidden. He says, I'll stay and listen, but he's so tired. Yeah, I can imagine. You can get an afternoon nap in after an 8 a.m. class. Remember those 8 a.m. classes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball waved out and missed. And that is going to retire Nishikawa. He's going to be gone on strikes. So big strikeout there for Espinosa. His going to be the second out here. That is going to bring up the right fielder in Shinya Hasegawa. So 2 strikeouts now in the books for Espinosa. Harrison said, who won yesterday, Buffaloes or Lions? Great question. Lions had a 2-0 lead going to the top of the 8th inning, and the Buffaloes scored twice to tie it. And then the Buffaloes scored 4 times in the top of the 10th. They won the game 6-2. So the right-hander Espinosa delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Hasegawa. Hasegawa was the other strikeout tonight in this game for Espinosa. So again, reaching out, touching the bat to the other side of the plate. As the right-handed hitting Hasegawa, here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field, but not deep enough, as that is going to be hauled in by Nishikawa, and that is going to do it. Well, they threatened, but they don't score to the Lions. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. Check that. 3 hits, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left the board. So much like the Buffaloes in the first inning, the Lions have turned the trick here in inning number 2, not able to get a clutch hit. Your score as we go to the third inning, Buffaloes nothing, and the Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a bit. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
We got a score line of 0-0 as we move to the third. There's been chances, but nothing been capitalized. We'll be right back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order in Haruka, Kobayashi, and Oda. Coming to bat here against Sumida in inning number 3. Buffaloes stranded 3 in the first. Lions is stranded 2 in the first and 3 in the second. As we moved here to the third inning. And the first offering on the way here from Sumida as he kicks and delivers a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Sumida has 4 strikeouts so far in the ballgame. As the lefty rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Slow breaking ball drops in for a called strike. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the lefty delivers again, there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line. And it is going to hook into the netting foul. Count now 1-2 to Haruka. Haruka 1 for 1 tonight, singled in his only trip so far. As the lefty rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, is lined into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Over to pick it up and cut it off is the right fielder Hasegawa, and he fires it in. But Haruka's got himself a leadoff single here to start the third, so that's kind of the same way he began the ball game. Now it's going to bring up the shortstop and Kentaro Kobayashi. Well, for Kobayashi, he was 1 for 1 today, or is 1 for 1. He was left stranded at second base his first time up. So establishing his lead over there at first is Haruka. As the lefty holds set, here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires, fastball misses inside, backs the hitter Kobayashi off the plate. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kobayashi entered the ball game hitting .284. The base hit here, he had pulled his average up a little bit more as he is creeping towards the 300 mark. As the lefty holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We're going to have to do a 7th inning stretch here for ourselves. Looks like after this half inning, get ourselves the tee going. As the lefty Sumida steps off and fakes like he's going to throw over to first, but not so much. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. Oh, nice play. Glove hand flip over to second for one. Back to first. It's going to be a double play. Takazawa, that's going to be a web gem here for the Lions. Get a chance if you're on Instagram later tonight. Ground ball to the shortstop. It was deflected. We're going to see if the pitcher actually got a glove on it or if it just hit the mound. Oh, it did hit the pitcher. So that's going to go into the books as a double play. It is going to be 1-6-3. So 1-6-3. Kobayashi gone for the second out. Haruka gone for the first out. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. First pitch delivered to Oda. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Nomura. Throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3. That's going to do it here for the Buffaloes. No runs in the inning, one hit. No errors and nobody left the board. We're now through 2.5. Your score is where we started. The Buffaloes are nothing and the Lions are nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you for being here. It's time for us to get our coffee going. Welcome back, everybody. We were just a little slow getting ourselves back into our seat as we were taking the time out to go with it, as it is a tea break that we're having to arrange for ourselves. Coming up to face Espinosa here in the third inning, it'll be Watanabe who swings at the first pitch and grounds it over to second. Oda fields it, throws to first. And just like that, we got one in the books. So crowd out 4-3 for the first out. That brings up number 10 in Tyler Nevin. And for Nevin, well, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He went to the deepest part of the ballpark in the first inning to straightaway center field as he was not able to reach base. His average is now an even 250. 21 for 84 for the right-handed hitting American as Espinosa delivers. First pitch, breaking ball taken just down and away, and the count is 1-0. Nevin with the homer and 9 RBIs on the season. Waits here on the offering from the right-hander who delivers a fastball that he checks his swing on and fouls it away. And the count remains, or is now 1-1 here to Nevin. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander again delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep right center field. It's not going to be deep enough. It is going to get down for a base hit. As it was knocked to the ground. And rounding first and heading into second is going to be Nevin. We're going to have to wait to see how they score that. The right fielder, Sugimoto, had to come a long way, have to get there, and he had knocked it down. But it allows Nevin to get to second base. Just not sure if that's going to go as a single or a double. Look at the replay on that one there. It looked like he whiffed on it. It actually bounced and came up and hit him in the chest. So we'll see what the official scorer has in mind before we award Phil Nevin anything on that one there. Definitely a single and the possibility of a double. NPB website is a little bit down. They are still an inning behind. As the right-hander Espinoza checks the runner at second, now delivers a breaking ball to Shuta Tonosaki. Taken for a called strike. Tonosaki 0 for 1 tonight. He had flown out to left field his first time up. So it looks like it's going to be a double for Nevin, so he's got himself a bit of a cheeky double. You'll have to wait to see, but it doesn't look like they've ruled an error on that. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1 on Tonosaki. As far as we can see, that is the fourth hit here for the Lions. It's 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander Espinoza delivers. There's a breaking ball, misses down. A good stop there by the catcher Wakatsuki. He certainly earns his money. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Tonosaki waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Anderson Espinoza. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Delivers, breaking ball, waved at and missed. I said it the other day, maybe Lions fans might get upset with me when they hear it, but when I watch Shuta Tonosaki swing, he's got a lot of Javier Baez in his game. I might not endear myself to the Lions fans, but take it for what it's worth. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander again works himself to the set position. He checks the runner. And now he delivers. It's a breaking ball that is down. They peel over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and that's going to run the count full to Tonosaki. That would have been the Javi Baez I was talking about, the breaking ball that was down the way. That's probably the right call by the home plate umpire. I don't think that Tonosaki offered enough to have that one rung up as a strike. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting third baseman of the Lions. Runner at second, Nevin, 1 gone here in the third. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and it's pulled foul. That's the third base coach's box, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Takeya Nakamura waits his turn on deck for the Lions. So Tonosaki waiting here on the offering. Got all the body armor on the left side of his body. As the 3-2 on the way, it's a breaking ball that is swung on. It is popped up into shallow right field. Moving back underneath it is Oda. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Tonosaki for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. It's going to bring it up to Takeya Nakamura. And for Nakamura, he is 1 for 1 tonight, but he was called out on the fielder's choice that looked like the ball was going to get chopped over the head of Espinoza, the pitcher, and he ended up getting the runner Nakamura in a rundown between third and home, which ultimately led to his putout. He has raised his season average to 343 with that double back in inning number 2. Does have a homer and 3 runs batted in. So the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Nakamura doubled, as we said back in the second inning. He's drinking from the Fountain Youth, or whatever he's drinking. Maybe everybody else should too, because he only has 1 home run this year, but he has a pretty healthy batting average for someone who's going to be 42. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nakamura digging himself in. He's waggling the bat at the plate as the right-hander holds himself to the set position. Checks the runner at second. Now kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball swung on. Is lifted into right field. Moving back on it is Sugimoto. He's going to have room, and he makes the catch. That's going to do it. Nakamura gone for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it here for the Lions. Third of the game in the books. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your scores, we move to the middle 3 frames. It is 0-0 Buffaloes and Lions. You'd think for a pitcher's duel it'd be moving quick. Not this one. Our friend Carter44 says, "What's up, man?" Well, welcome, Carter. Be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you for checking in on us here tonight. What's up is our voice is raspy, and we're just getting over some pretty nasty sickness. We'll be right back in just a few.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
It is 0-0. We'll be right back in 30 with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. It is Lions and Buffaloes when we return.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is thunderstorms in near and around the Balloonadome, but the fans inside are nice and dry. When I've had a chance to see games there, it seems like thunderstorms are a regular commonplace. As we're ready to go back to the live action, the first pitch swung on by Yataro Sugimoto is grounded foul over on the third base side. Our friend Carter says, "Who do you think is going to win this game?" At the outset, when I saw the matchups, I thought, well, the Lions have the better pitcher on the mound, at least in my opinion. But I would have to say the Buffaloes stand a good a chance as anything. There's a slow breaking ball, waved out and missed, to the count now goes to 0-2. I still like the way the Buffs have been playing in the early going, although Samita has done a pretty good job. He has 4 strikeouts here tonight in his 3+ innings of work. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So if I had to give a thumbs up, or if you pointed a gun at me and said pick one, I'm still going with the Buffaloes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Samita rocks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and Sugimoto's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is officially does not have a at-bat tonight. He had walked in the first inning and was left stranded. As the Buffaloes did leave the bases loaded in inning number 1. So, since then, Samita has pretty much retired, I'd say 8 in a row, although there was a base hit that was erased in a double play. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Nishikawa. As the lefty rocks and delivers, there's a fastball that just misses below the knees, and the count goes even at 1-1. I have to say the plate umpire, despite the tightness of the zone around the knee area, he has been fairly decent tonight. Only one time with a pitch up in the zone that I probably would have disagreed vehemently with. As that pitch is swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side, the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to the Ryoma Nishikawa. As the veteran outfielder for the Buffaloes waits on the offering, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Count remains at 1-2. And based on the way these two pitchers are going tonight, I would say neither one, I would expect they're going to be here very long. They're here past the 6th inning. I would be shocked. So here comes Sumida as he rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to put Nishikawa in the books. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. Fastball got up in a hurry on him. He wasn't able to catch up. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Jordan Diaz. Well, for Diaz, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He lined out to left field with the bases loaded. As the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Diaz. He lined out with the bases loaded to end the first inning. 9 for 36 now on the season for the right-handed hitting Buffalo DH, as there's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the lefty rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on its chop foul behind home plate. Count now goes to 1-2. I have to say, despite the pitch count through 5, Sumida looks like he's bearing down here and saying he'd be lucky to get through 6. Well, maybe a bit of a change of heart on that. Maybe he gets through 7. There's a fastball ticket for a called 3rd strike. Sumida strikes out the side here in inning number 4. And by our counts in the books, that is 7 strikeouts in his 4 innings of work. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the 4th inning. It is the Buffaloes and the Lions locked at 0s. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you for being here. It is going to be our friend Matt Hollis. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check him out after the game when you get a chance. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And we are where we started. It is a nothing ball game as the Lions are coming to bat here to face Anderson Espinoza. The first pitch breaking ball misses down and away to Naimura. Count is 1-0. Naimura 1 for 1 today. Has raised his season average to 148 now, 4 for 27 on the year. Swings at a fastball, rolls it over to short. Kirby fields it, throws to first, and Naimura is in the books. It's a ground out 6-3 to start the 4th. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. Well, for Koga, he bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. He was the one who chopped it back to the pitcher where Takeya Nakamura ran himself out of time there. He was at the runner at, say maybe out of time, but he was the runner at 3rd. As that fastball swung on and missed, the count is 0-1 to Koga. Ended up getting himself into a pickle between 3rd and home. The ball got over Espinosa's head. Maybe Nakamura might have scored. One is on the way. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Espinosa holding to the set position. Now the pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is lined in the right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Koga's going to be aboard for the second time today. It's his first hit of the evening. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Natsuo Takazawa. Well, for Takazawa, he's 1 for 1 tonight. Got a single his first time up, but he also had a brilliant defensive play as he was able to glove flip a ball to the second baseman covering. Began the first part of the double play. As we said, a beautiful defensive web gem in the third inning. So he is now 6 for 36 on the season. As the right-hander works himself to the set, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, lined up the middle into center field for a base hit. And that is going to be station-to-station baseball as Yuta Koga is going to stop at second. Takazawa's got himself his second hit of the night. Well, the base knock into center field, that'll bring up the top of the order in Manaya Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in the second. He walked and stole a base in the first. Lions are kicking up their heels here, looking to trying to put some pieces together. They've got runners at first and second with 1 gone. The left-handed hitting Nishikawa digs in. Batting .239 on the season. As Espinosa checks the runner and now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up down the left field line. Room and space and playable by the left fielder. As that is going to be caught by Ryoma Nishikawa. That's going to be the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books. And that was a Nishikawa to Nishikawa special. As Manaya Nishikawa pops out to Ryoma Nishikawa. That's going to bring Shinya Hasegawa to the plate. Hasegawa looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown out. As Espinosa looks to get himself out of the pickle he's put himself into. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. Hasegawa striking out and flying out to left in his first 2 trips. And when he flew out to left field, that ended the threat that the Lions had in the second inning where they stranded the bases loaded. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. A base hit here could potentially open up the scoring for the Lions. As Espinosa works himself to the set position. Here comes the 1-1. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Drifting back onto the warning track and watching it sail into the seats. And that is going to be the first home run of the year for Hasegawa. A 3-run shot. That is going to put the Lions out in front here. You could just feel it coming. A 3-run blast off the bat of Shinya Hasegawa. It is going to plate Yuta Koga and Natsuo Takazawa in front of him. The Lions are now up 3-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Seiya Watanabee. So applause all around here. But they were living dangerous, were the Buffaloes. As the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Watanabee. Watanabe officially 0 for 1 tonight. He has walked and grounded to second. Breaking ball swung on it is going to be grounded through the 6-hole into left field, and Watanabe's going to get himself a base hit. So the hit parade continues here for the Lions in the 4th inning. That's their 4th hit here off of Espinoza alone. Gives them 8 in the ball game here in the early going. So that is going to bring Tyler Nevin to the plate. And for Nevin, he is 1 for 2 today. He's got a double in 2 trips. So maybe that is exactly what the fielder Watanabe has needed to get himself going, or I should say Hasegawa to get himself going. That home run here tonight, his first of the year. If you've just joined us, the Lions have jumped out to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set, and he fires over to first and diving back in time as the runner. And all the runs have come with 2 outs. So Watanabe, the runner at first. Tyler Nevin is waiting in here on the offering from the right-hander as Espinoza holds set. Now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be looped softly into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And stopping at second is going to be Watanabe. Nevin is going to reach first safely. It's going to bring Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. That is 5 hits now in the inning here for the Lions. As the ball is finding the turf anywhere and everywhere. Well, Tonosaki coming to the plate. He's looking for his first hit in this one. He has flown to left, and he has popped to second. But Espinoza trying to find the elusive 3rd out of the inning. He's already up to 84 pitches. As the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. Tonosaki not really pleased with that. Back to the interesting strike zone that we're having to watch tonight. So no balls and 1 strike to Shuta Tonosaki. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Espinoza. Work set. Pitch on the way. Fastball that just misses. That pitch looked better than the one that was called the ball. Or the one that he was called a strike, I should say. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Again, the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Checks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away. It's now 2-1 to Tonosaki. There is action in the Buffaloes bullpen. We'll try to get a number. So it looks like it is number 94 up and throwing, which would put that as Kento Kawase. So here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 as Tonosaki skips out of the box and a couple of 360s. So 3-0 Buffaloes have the lead here in the, I should say the Lions have the lead here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. A big blow, a 3-run homer off the bat of Shinya Hasegawa. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Tonosaki is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But there was damage done, and lots of it here in the inning. 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 5 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. The big blow, a 3-run shot off the bat of Shinya Hasegawa. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the top of the 5th when we return. 3-0 here for the Lions. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. The man of the hour is Shinya Hasegawa with that 3-run homer in the bottom half of inning number 4. It is going to be coming to bat here, Yuma Tongu, Kenya Wakatsuki, and Kai Nakagawa, as they are going to be facing Chihiro Samita here to begin the 5th inning. So Hasegawa gets all his applauses as he has returned to his position out there in right field. So Tongu, who is 0 for 1 today, he had struck out his first time up. He's going to be the first one to come to bat here against the left-hander Samita. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Tongu on the season hitting .272, 5 homers and 12 RBIs. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the left-hander rocks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. As the 2 ball and 1 strike pitch ready to go, Samita rocks and he delivers. The fastball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman. As that is Nomura, who will throw out Tongu at first. Ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone, that'll bring Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. Katsuki 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to right field his first time up, as he is facing the left-hander here for the second time. So Wakatsuki digs himself in, batting .258. Those 2 homers and 6 RBIs. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 7 strikeouts tonight recorded by Samita. He's been very, very effective from the left side here. As the lefty gets his side from his catcher and he rocks himself into the windup. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's going to be lifted into the left field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. And Wakatsuki's going to get himself aboard. That's going to be the 4th hit tonight recorded by the Buffaloes. So a single off the bat of Wakatsuki. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Kai Nakagawa. 3-0 Lions have the lead here in the top of the 5th. 3-run homer off the bat of Shinya Hasegawa. The bottom half of inning number 4 has broken up the stalemate here in this one. Nakagawa digs himself in, waiting on the first pitch. As the lefty Samita holds set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball waved at it, missed. The count quickly goes to 0-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, tomorrow night we'll be back on the airwaves. It'll be the Bay Stars and the Carp. Trevor Bauer goes for the Bay Stars. So we'll be locked in at that one. Same time, same place, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern. Breaking ball waved at it, missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Nakagawa. And the left-hander Samita ready to go. And a reminder, at the end of the 5th inning, we'll take a little time out ourselves, as they do take that 5-minute break between the 5th and the 6th innings to clean the field. The umpires take their break. Call it our Japanese halftime. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted down the right field line. It's slicing, giving chase. With room to make the catch is the right fielder, Hasegawa. So he's all over the place in this last half inning, as that is going to send Wakatsuki back to first base. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Taishi Haruka. And Haruka coming to the plate. Two for two tonight for the starting third baseman of the Buffaloes. He keep his hot streak alive. He is hitting .440 now on the year, 11 for 25. And here comes the pitch. Breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, although the catcher Koga played a little basketball with it. No balls and one strike it is. Lefty Samita working himself to the belt as he nods in agreement with his catcher, Koga. And the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2 on Haruka. I'm not so sure that Haruka liked that pitch. I have to kind of agree with him. But not what you can do when you don't hang around in the batter's box. Do you stand in there? You're kind of giving him what he deserves. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Samita nods in agreement. And the pitch is on its way. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. Popped up down the right field line. Giving chase is Nevin. And does he have room? He's just going to, it's going to hit the netting. Bounces off the wall and hits Nevin. Going to keep the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. So no balls and 2 strikes. Samita here ready to go as the right-handed hitting Haruka waits. Samita holds to the set. Here comes the pitch. 0-2 offering on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lions got all 3 of their runs in the last half of the 4th inning. Buffaloes have yet to reach the score sheet. They stranded the bases loaded in the 1st inning, and it's been quiet ever since. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball that misses down. Good stop there by the catcher, Yuta Koga. It's going to run the count to 2-2. So Samito rocks back to the pitching rubber, reaches for the rosin bag, and he's ready to go back again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's been in the pitch. He's thrown a lot of pitches tonight. Has Samita 77 for him. My guess is Espinosa's got to be done for the evening. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Kicks and delivers, breaking ball and misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Boy, oh boy. Haruka's like a cat who's got 9 lives, and he's using every single one of them. We're going to look at the replay on this one ourselves. Nice call by the first base umpire, as the Buffalo third baseman did not go around in the eyes of the ump, and I have to say we got to concur with that. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Haruka. The runner, Wakatsuki's going to be on the move here as soon as he goes to the plate. As the pitch is on the way, it's a slow breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman. And that is Nomura who throws to first, and Haruka's gone on a ground out 4-3. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 5th inning. Well, they had a runner aboard on the single by Wakatsuki. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the score of 3-0 for the Lions. It looks like Espinosa's night is done. We're going to have a pitching change, and we'll be back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of inning number 5. That means Takeya Nakamura, Daiji Nomura, and Yuta Koga to come on and face. Well, looks like a relief pitcher here, as it is going to be the end of the night for Anderson Espinosa. It is going to be Kenta Kawase, who we saw warming up earlier. He is making his 8th appearance. He has allowed 1 hit, and he has an earned run average of 193. So his night is over is Anderson's. And the battle of the bullpen is not that far away, as we're waiting for the rest to come out as well. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. So Kento Kawase on the mound here, as there's a fastball that's taken low. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakamura. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-1. I wonder how many pitches that this fella has and how many are going to be actually good. Having a little bit of a challenge locating his fastball. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left field, coming in hard and making the catch as the left fielder Nishikawa. The ball hit hard there by Nakamura. And he is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. He did have a double in the first at Nakamura, and he's flown out and now flown out again. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Daiji Nomura. Nomura officially 0 for 1 tonight. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 0-1. He had singled in the second and had grounded to short in the 5th. There's a pitch that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Nomura waiting here on the offering. There was a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Daiji Nomura. Well, if you thought that this game here, if you saw nothing for as long as it was going to be a quick game, no way, Jose. This game here has taken forever. Fastball that is swung on and fouled away. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Other scores in the Pacific League, the Eagles now have extended their lead to 5-0. It's in the bottom of the 5th inning against the Hawks. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on, grounded back to the pitcher. Squirts out of the glove of the pitcher, Kawase, and then he fields it and throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 1-3. So he out for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher and Yuta Koga. Other score in the Pacific League, Chiba has a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 7th over the Fighters. Game is skipping along at a pretty good clip. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses down for a ball. Koga today 1 for 2, bounced into a fielder's choice, singled and scored on the home run off the bat of Hasegawa. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Over in the Central League, it is the Bay Stars 2-0 over the Carp. That's in the top of the 7th inning. Dragons have a 5-0 lead over the Swallows. That's in the bottom of the 6th. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball missing down and away. And the Giants and the Tigers tied at 2. That is through 5. 3 balls and no strikes to Yuta Koga. You definitely want to try to keep runners off the base paths if you are the Buffaloes. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Koga. Again, Kawase delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into right center field. Moving over as Sugimoto. He's got plenty of room and space. He's going to make the catch. That's going to do it. Lions are gone in their half of the 5th inning. We're going to take our little Japanese halftime as we'll put this on the music on loop. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 5 complete. Your score is the Lions 3 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. As we said, we are going to put the music on loop. We're going to take ourselves a little bathroom break here as we move ourselves to the top of the 6th inning. We'll be right back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Samita, who is still on in the ball game. It looks like we may have a defensive change for the Lions here, but we'll have to get a look at that as they come to bat. It looks like it is going to be number 0, but we're going to have to check to see where Ryusuke Kodama is going to be playing, if he's moving in at second base or if he has moved in at shortstop. I'd be surprised if he moved in at shortstop, as the shortstop Takezawa has been a hitting machine, so to speak, tonight. Here comes the first pitch from Samita. Fastball delivered to Kentaro Kobayashi, taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Kobayashi 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also grounded into a double play, as the lefty Samita rocks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. By our accounts, it is 7 strikeouts here by the left-hander Samita, as he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty rocks and fires. There's a slow breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2 on Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi here, and then it'll be Oda and Sugimoto to follow. In the 6th inning, there's a breaking ball swung on. It's going to be lined to the left field. This is going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to be a single off the bat of Kobayashi. His 2nd hit of the night. So he is aboard with a leadoff single here in the 6th. That's going to bring Ryo Oda to the plate. So for the Buffaloes, who have been hot hitting so far this year, in this up to this point of the season, that's the 5th hit of the ball game here for the Buffaloes here. So establishing his lead over at first is Kobayashi. As Ryo Oda waits in, Oda has been a hitting machine, but not tonight. He is 0 for 2 as he swings through a first pitch fastball. The count is 0-1. Oda has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate. The lefty Sumida has been brilliant here. He has scattered those 5 hits over his 5+ innings of work. As the lefty works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. A fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. And the count now 0-2. I have to say that, and have to think that when this game gets as deep as it is now, it's going to be a battle of the bullpens. I would think Sumida maybe comes out for another inning of work. But I have a feeling that he may not necessarily start the 7th. His needle is starting to point closer and closer to empty as he's on 86 pitches. As the lefty works himself to the belt. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And that is going to do it. Oda is going to be in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Good stop there by the catcher, but with the first base occupied, Oda is down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Now officially 8 recorded by Sumida. So a runner at first, 1 gone. Brings Yatara Sugimoto to the dish. Sugimoto 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out both times here against the starter Sumida. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over to his right, but room to make the catch is going to be the right fielder Shinya Hasegawa, and that is going to put 2 in the books here. It's going to leave it up to the left fielder in Ryoma Nishikawa. So Sugimoto is going to be a little bit disappointed. He hit that ball hard. Just right to the glove of the right fielder Hasegawa. Well, this brings to the plate Ryoma Nishikawa, who is officially 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked in his 2 trips. As he touches up the plate, and he's ready here on the first offering from the left-handed throwing Sumida. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Crowd is cheering on here as the left-hander holds himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. But they're going to play station-to-station baseball, are the Buffaloes. So Nishikawa's got himself a single. Stopping at second is Kobayashi. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Jordan Diaz to the plate. Now, I know he doesn't have a home run this year here, but Diaz looks like he is in scoring position when he steps into the box. As the Colombian 0 for 2 tonight against the tough left-hander of the Buffaloes. My friend Jason says, I came back to see you're down 3-0. Yeah, you are. But you got Jordan Diaz coming to the plate here with runners at first and second. And 2 gone. Diaz lined to left field to end the first inning with the bases loaded. And he struck out looking in the fourth. So the big burly Colombian stepping in here. Waiting on the first pitch from Samita. As the lefty works himself to the belt, he checks the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. Slow breaking ball drops in for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Diaz hunting the fastball, looking for something to be able to jump on, to be able to turn into some runs. And the lefty gets his sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back at it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down. Good stop there by the catcher Koga, and the count goes even to 1-1. Game here has been rather lethargic for a 3-0 game. Just a couple hours into it here, and in the sixth inning, it's taken us 2 hours to play 5. I tell you all you need to know. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the lefty holds to the set, kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled right off the catcher. Oh boy, Yuta Koga, he really feels that. It's going to be 1-2 now here to Diaz. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yuta Koga giving the signs to his lefty here as Samita now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Diaz goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. They strand a couple of runners. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is a 3-0 lead for the Lions. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Be sure after the game to check out our friend Steve. We're going to introduce you to him here and let him tell you about who he is all about.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Got a pitching change, and we'll get you that when we come back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, the sun is out in Takarazawa, where the Saitama Seibu Lions call it their home. We saw a thunderstorm roll through earlier, seems like Thunderstorm Alley in that area. As we do have a pitching change for the Buffaloes. We'll get that for you here as Takazawa steps in. It is going to be number 15, Ren Mukanoki. Will take over here, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and in. It'll be the third pitcher used is Mukanoki. by the Buffaloes here in this one. There's a fastball that's taken just below the knees for a called strike. So that is going to run the count even to 1-1. It's kind of funny, the reactions as Takazawa, who's got 2 hits tonight, cranks his head around a couple times like in disbelief. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. As Takazawa, Nishikawa, and Hasegawa, 9, 1, and 2 hitters to get things going here for the Lions in their half of the inning. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Backing up is the shortstop, Kobayashi, and he's going to make a basket catch. Takazawa is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. 1 gone, that'll bring up Minaya Nishikawa to the plate. Well, for Nishikawa, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out, he's flown to left, and he has walked and stolen a base. So he is looking to make an impactful part here in the offense as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Right-hander kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Drifting back and underneath it with room to make the catch is Kai Nakagawa, and that is going to retire Nishikawa for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up the man of the hour in Shinya Hasegawa. It was Hasegawa who delivered the 3-run shot in the bottom of the 4th inning. As that was a 2-out home run to put the Lions on top here, 3-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low, and the count is 1-0 to Hasegawa. Buffaloes have used 3 pitchers now tonight. As the right-hander kicks and fires, it's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count now runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses way outside. Count now goes to 2-1 on Hasegawa. As a reminder, tomorrow night, it'll be Bay Stars and Carp. I'll have that one for you, as it will be Bauer time. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded right back to the pitcher. Play with your hacky sack. Nice play there by the pitcher, Mukanhuki, who takes it off the heel, uses his other foot to kick it in the air, and then throws out the runner. Goes as a ground out 1-3 to end the inning. As that is going to do it for the Lions. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. 2/3 of the game is now in the books. And your score is the Lions 3 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here's our friend Steve.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. The starter Samita is still in the ball game. He's going to be facing Tongu, Wakatsuki, and Nakagawa. I would have to think that probably if he could get through this inning here, and it'll be on high alert here for the 8th. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Tongu. Tongu 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and he has grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate. Season average has tumbled to 268. As the lefty Samita kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down and in. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the lefty rocks into delivery, kicks and fires. Fastball swung on it is going to be hooked down the left field line, but is going to be hooked well foul into the seats. The count is 1-2 to Tongu. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting first baseman of the Buffaloes. There is action in the Lions bullpen. They have a righty and a lefty throwing. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field, and it's going to flare down for a base hit. Oh, they thought about throwing the runner out at first base, but the ball just hung up just a little bit there for Hasegawa. It's going to be a single off the bat of Tongu. A bleeder, but it looks like a line drive in the box score. And that is going to bring up the catcher in Kenya Wakatsuki. Hasegawa thought about it a little bit, but then decided the better thing to do was to kill the ball so we don't make any more mistakes. So that brings Wakatsuki to the plate. He's officially 1 for 2 tonight. He has flown to right and singled in the 5th. As the right-hander or left-hander kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that is swung on his hook foul into the netting down the left field line. He was way out in front of that. So no balls and 1 strike. We do welcome you guys into the stream tonight. As we mentioned before, it is, at least for us, a little bit of a recovery process. We had, as our voice is rather raspy, getting over some not very good health, as that pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. But we are with you here tonight. Glad to be here. Make the call on this one. So again, Samita gets himself a new baseball, and he's ready to go again. As the lefty kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field, giving chase is Hasegawa. It's going to slice, but it's going to slice down in foul territory. Wakatsuki, like a cat, has another life to live. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Wakatsuki. Runner at first is Tongu. Nobody out here in the top half of inning number 7. Samita now at 101 pitches. I have to think the Lions would like to bleed this inning out of their left-hander. He is 3-0 in 3 starts. He's looking for his 4th win of the year. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and that is going to retire Wakatsuki. He's going to be gone for the first out of the inning, and I believe by our count, that's going to be the 10th strikeout of the night recorded by Samita. So 1 gone with the runner at first. That brings Nakagawa to the plate. Nakagawa is 0 for 2 in this one here tonight. As the lefty Samita works himself to the set position, here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. Again, way out in front of that one. Kagawa has seen his average dip to 289. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and popped a third. As the lefty Samita ready to go again. As he holds to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Nakagawa now in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lions lead at 3-0 on the 3-run homer by Shinya Hasegawa at the bottom of the 4th. Both teams have had their opportunities to try to do more damage. The Buffaloes have left 6 runners on base through their first 6 innings. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and pop foul over on the first base side of home plate. Count remains at 0-2 to Nakagawa. On the other side of the ledger, the Lions have also left at 8 runners aboard. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa. Runner at first, Tongu. We'll keep an eye there to see if they maybe put him in motion to stay out of a double play. The 0-2 pitch on the way. As he kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on defensively and fouled away. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Buffalo's looking for some instant runs. They're starting to run out of outs. As we've got themselves 1 gone here in the 7th inning. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's on its way. It's a breaking ball. Another good stop there by the catcher, Koga. 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains here to Nakagawa. So here we go again with the lefty. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball waved out and missed. And that is going to do it, as that is going to retire Nakagawa for the 2nd out of the inning. So strikeout number 11 here for Samita. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Taishi Haruka. Well, Haruka standing in. He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles and 3 trips. As the lefty ready to go, Samita kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Haruka's enjoyed himself a nice start to the 2025 campaign. Samita at the 109 pitches here. One would have to think this will be the end of the line for him tonight. And the 1-0 is on the way. It's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Taro Kirbiashi waiting his turn on deck if he's able to get a bat here in the 7th. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Samita works to the belt, checks the runner, and now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Haruka was way out in front and fooled on that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Buffaloes' 3rd baseman. Hopefully, you guys will be able to tune in tomorrow. As we said, we'll do that game and try to get ourselves back on track in terms of our own health. As we said, our voice was a bit raspy, and we're just trying to manage through this one here tonight. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count is 1-2 still to Haruka. On top of that, we can give you the call tomorrow night. Then we'll be back off to the races. We're going to try one on Sunday as well and another one on Monday. Monday will be a NPB game, which would be Tuesday in Japan. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A lot of day games that day on Tuesday. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses inside. It is dropped and it gets away. Yumatagu was on the move, so he's going to give himself a stolen base. Not sure if they would call that a pass ball on the catcher or if it looked like he had lost it on the exchange, I'm pretty sure. So here comes the 1-2 again to Haruka. This is going to be the fifth pitch of the bat. Samita works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Checks the runner over at second, now delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded by Tonosaki. Fields and fires to first. That's going to be a ground out 5-3. Haruka gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the seventh. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors. And one runner left aboard. Buffaloes have now left 7 aboard tonight through their 7 innings. And your score as we go to the bottom of the 7th, it is the Lions 3 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Ren Mukadeki is on for his second inning of work, and he delivers a fastball to Seiya Watanabee that is drilled into center field for a base hit. So Watanabee has got himself his second hit of the ball game, and that is going to bring up the first baseman and Tyler Nevin. So Tyler Nevin coming to the plate. He is 2 for 3 tonight. Nevin has a single, a double, and a fly out to center field. We had mentioned the American is starting to catch fire. So Tyler Nevin stepping to the dish, and the first pitch is a fastball. It's taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. We didn't call any games in the weekday, and But there was an interesting piece, was it last week or last weekend, when the Tigers and the Carp were playing, and it was the Carp pitcher hit a Tiger player in the head, and the bench is emptied. I haven't seen that in a few years in the Japanese league, as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Watanabe. You go back a number of years ago, and it was, I say commonplace, but you would see there would be instances where the Japanese players would like to brawl. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded to short. They go to second for one, back to first, and that's going to be a double play. That is going to be of a 6-4-3 variety, as Nevin is retired on the backside. Watanabe retired on the front end. So 2 gone. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Shuta Tonosaki. So some nice pitching here by Mukinoki, as he's able to induce the double play ball. So Tonosaki tonight officially 0 for 3. He has flown to left, popped to second, and struck out. As the first pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 20 for 75 is Tonosaki. Swings at a fastball and lines that into right field. Nice job of inside out hitting the ball. So another single here in the inning for the Lions. That's going to bring up the DH in Takeya Nakamura. And even at the age that Nakamura is at, you always got to feel like you got to be under control here. He has the pop and the stick that can bring the Lions a 5-run lead. Nakamura 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double in 3 trips. As the right-handed hitting Nakamura waits on the right-hander, who is holding himself to the set. The pitch from Mukinoki is a fastball that misses upstairs. Count 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-0. Lions have the lead. As the right-hander Mukinoki kicks and fires, it's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Looking ahead into the top of the 8th inning for the Buffaloes, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat. As we mentioned, we are anticipating a pitching change for the Lions. Here comes the 2-0 offering. As Mukinoki delivers, it's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. That was 2-1. And I don't even know if the catcher agreed with that, the way that he was able to just catch it and give it back. One would have the thought that he might have been able to buy that as a strike for his pitcher, and he certainly did. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. The Lions faithful trying to bring this one home for their ball club. Buffaloes fans who have made the way from Osaka to Kurazawa are going to find themselves pretty disappointed so far in this one. Fastball misses down. There goes the runner. The throw down to second. It's not going to be in time. Stolen base for Tonosaki. That's going to be his 2nd of the year. So stolen base number 2 for Tonosaki. So Tonosaki getting his lead over there at second base. I don't think they're going to be overly concerned about him. Here comes the 3-2 to Nakamura. As the pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And that is going to do it. Nakamura's gone. He's out for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Lions. No runs, 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 7 complete. And it looks like the Lions are going to their bullpen. We'll be back in just a few. It is a 3-0 scoreline as we move to the 8th inning. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. We've got ourselves a pitching change here as the Lions are going to their bullpen. We'll have to confirm it, but it does look like it is going to be Trey Wingenter. That is exactly who it is going to be, and Wingenter is going to be taking over here in relief for the Lions in this one. So a 7-inning start for Samita, as he is in line right now for his 4th win. So Wingenter is just completing his warm-up tosses. Ninth appearance of the year for the right-hander. He's only allowed 5 hits. He has himself an ERA of 1.13. So Wingenter has completed his tune-up tosses, and he's going to be entrusted to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. A batting order for the Buffaloes. That'll be Kobayashi, Oda, and Sugimoto. So 3 pretty formidable hitters for the Buffaloes. So Wingenter, his first foray to the Japanese League, has pitched pretty well, or pretty decent. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, a first pitch is a fastball that runs inside and almost hits Kobayashi. He has to dance out of the way. So 1 ball and no strikes. That'll get your juices flowing. Kobayashi tonight has a pair of singles. He's also grounded into a double play. His average is approaching the 300 mark. And the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into right field. Moving over to his right and underneath it with plenty of space to make the catch is Shinya Hasegawa, and that's going to retire Kobayashi for the first out of the inning. So now the Buffaloes are starting to run themselves out of outs here, as they are down here by 3 in the 8th. So one of the players who were crying out before the game is Ryo Oda, batting .411, 39 for 95. He's had a rough night at the plate. He has grounded out and he has struck out. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Ryo Oda. Jason says, I got a softball game to watch tomorrow. Appreciate you for being here. It's a little bit tough today. We had, as I said, struggled in the week. Wasn't feeling well. Flew into Seattle last night and thought my ears were absolutely going to explode as that pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. It's 1-1. Weren't able to get the ears to pop. A 3-hour drive home. Went to sleep and woke up this morning, and somewhere over the night they were able to pop and we felt somewhat normal. Glad you could make it in, Jason, and hopefully you can come on back later in the week or the weekend. As the pitch from Wingenter is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul. That one there rolled up at 97 on the gun. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Oda, as he bats with 1 gone in the 8th inning. Yeah, certainly feeling better each passing day, that is for sure. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side. Oh, what a fantastic play by the first baseman, Nevin. He throws to first to Wingenter covering. That's going to be as a ground out. That's going to go in the books 3-1 for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Yatara Sugimoto. So I'm curious to see what the Lions are going to use to try to close this one out here. If they're going to use a domestic arm, or if they're going to be maybe possibly using another import. So that is going to bring Sugimoto to the plate. He's had a rough night at the office. He is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and flown to right. Now he's got this hard-throwing right-hander on the hill, and there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. 0-1 to Sugimoto. Hitting .328 now on the season is the big fella. 4 homers and 8 runs batted in. Top of the 8th inning, the Lions enjoying themselves a 3-0 lead. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count now 0-2 here to Sugimoto. Just tells me that Sugimoto's up there guessing right now. Sometimes you got to be educated guessing, certainly not just waving at it. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Wingenter delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Power versus power, 98 miles an hour. That blows it by Sugimoto. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in the 8th for the Buffaloes. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Lions 3 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 8th when we return after this. Much appreciated for you for being here. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to a right-hander. It is going to be Ryusei Gonda coming in, is making his second appearance of the 2025 campaign. As it is he who they're going to entrust, as he is completing his warm-up tosses. We'll be ready to get this one going again. To have a couple of finals in now in the Pacific League. It is the Fighters over the Marines 2-1. Game has checked in as a final. 5-0. Tohoku still have the lead over the Hawks. That's in the bottom of the 7th inning. In the Central League, Bay Stars beat the Carp 2-0. Bottom of the 8th, Dragons have a 5-0 lead over the Swallows. In the top of the 8th, it's the Tigers and the Giants locked at 2s. And for those of you joining us, coming to bat for Daiju Nomura is going to be who's come into defensively at second base is Ryosuke Kodama. This is going to be his first at bat of the evening. So Ryosuke Kodama takes a first pitch fastball from Gonda for a called strike. Count is quickly no balls and 1 strike. Now batting from the right side against the right-hander who delivers a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1-1 it is. A friend of mine was talking about the Japanese game. He says, who do you think the best offensive prospect is in the Japanese game right now? As that breaking ball misses down and away. Count goes to 2-1 on Kadama. I'd have to say that probably Murakami has to be. Well, there's a few other players that I like. I just don't know how Murakami's going to play out in the big leagues. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left field. And this ball is going to hook foul just down the left field line. Oh, boy, I didn't know Kadama had that in him. So 2 strikes it is. Pitching-wise, I wonder who would make their journey over to the MLB. I would have loved to have seen Sato Morishita go, but I don't think the Carp are going to let him go too easily. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-2. Roya Miyagi, I would think probably in the latter parts of his career would entertain going across. And the 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side of home plate. Count remains at 3-2. This one's done. We're not going to give a huge wrap up tonight. We're going to call it a night. We have, there's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle softly, fielded on the backhand by the second baseman Oda. Throws to first, and Kadama's gone on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring Yuta Koga to the plate. And it is Kaima Taira who is heating up in the Alliance bullpen. He's looking to close this one off for the Takarazawa Ball Club. So here comes the first offering. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Koga. Koga today 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He scored the first run of the ball game when he was brought home on the 3-run homer by Shinya Hasegawa. He's also flown to right field. The Lions can hang on here. It'll help them bode well and potentially move up in the standings as the Hawks are being beaten into Hoku. They would jump a half game ahead of Fukuoka. Fastball misses up and in. Count goes even to 1-1 on Koga. The right-hander Gonda kicks and delivers. Fastball taken on the outside corner for called strike. The count is 1-2. So 1-2 strikes it is. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count's now 2-2. With the other wins tonight, the Fighters will break that tie and more than likely would be seated tied for second with the Golden Eagles. Fastball swung on, ground to the right side, fielded by Oda. Throws to first, and that is going to retire Koga. So 2 up and 2 retired the same way on ground balls to the second baseman Oda. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Natsuo Takezawa. Well, for Takezawa, he is 2 for 3 tonight. He's raised his season average to 280. So he's got 2 singles. He's scored a run, and he has flown out to left field. And the pitch from Gonda on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. Goes quickly 0-1 to Takezawa. Gonda wasting very little time. He delivers another fastball for a called strike. The count's 0-2. Takezawa batting in the 9 hole here, looking to try to turn the batting order over to the top. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that's check swing fouled down the left field line, and the count remains at 0-2. So the ball's in 2 strikes. The 0-2 is on the way. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball ticket for a called third strike. Takazawa in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Lions. They go in order in the eighth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're going to the ninth inning. It is Kaimatira time. He's trying to come in and close this out. And facing Nishikawa, Diaz, and Tongu, or at least they're slated to come to bat. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you for being here with us. Welcome back, everybody. Kaimatira making his 10th appearance of the year, and he's looking for his 5th save. He's got himself an ERA of 3.24, so he is taking on in relief here. So Kaimatira going to be the third pitcher used. Samita, Wingenter were the ones before him. So now he's coming in to try to seal the deal here for the Lions. So now that brings the hitter Nishikawa to the plate. As we said, Nishikawa, Diaz, and Tongu. Lions looking to make it an easy 1-2-3 inning. The Buffaloes are looking for some life. So the right-hander Tyra works and gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is quickly 1-0. They need base runners, do the Buffaloes. And one would have to think that there's going to be some plate discipline here in this at-bat. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike. Count now even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. As the right-hander holds himself to the belt, now delivers a fastball that is swung through and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. So again, Tyra ready to go back to work. He's getting the sign from Koga. He works himself to the belt and fires. Fastball waved on and missed. Nishikawa is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. That was more of a swing of self-defense. He's gone for out number 1. That's going to bring Jordan Diaz to the plate. Well, for Diaz tonight, he's officially 0 for 3. It looks like we got a pinch hitter for Diaz here as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It is going to be a number 50. So number 50 on our scorecard or our bingo card is going to be Ryoma Yamanaka. As he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. For Yamanaka, he is one of the backup catchers. Fastball swung on and fouled away right at home plate. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yamanaka as the right-hander Tyra holds set. Now delivers breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. I can't remember if I've ever seen Yamanaka hit. You think of the catchers, I think of Kenya Wakatsuki, I think of Tomoya Mori, as the pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 1-2. I think of even Sho Fukunaga, who we saw. But I've never seen, I don't believe, Yamanaka hit. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Tyre holds set. Delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is hit softly and fielded by the sliding shortstop. That is Takazawa, who moved to his right, slid, and made the catch. Yamanaka is going to be gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Yamatangu. So now the Buffaloes are down to their final out here in the final inning. So Kai Mataira looking to seal the deal here. As the right-hander holds himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I think you're going to get a steady diet of some pretty good pitches to hit here. Tongu's average at 277. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike. The count goes even at 1-1. The man of the hour tonight, right fielder Shinya Hasegawa with the 3-run shot. Difference in this one. Fastball misses up. 2 balls and 1 strike. So in the right-hander, Tyra working himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-1. Pitch on the way, and it's a fastball that goes all the way to the backstop. Count goes to 3-1 on Tagu. That is exactly what the Buffaloes need. They need base runners. It is exactly what the Lions don't want them to have. It's base runners. So here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field, but no. It's going to be the left fielder who is going to be making the catch. Nice job as Watanabe will get the job done, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of inning number 9. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score is the Lions 3, the Buffaloes nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap this one up for you. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
That's right. Everybody got to have an ace in the hole. Well, it's going to be a quick roundup here on this one. All the scoring came in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it was a 1-out single off the bat of Yuta Koga, and a single from Natsuo Takazawa. And after Manaya Nishikawa flew out to left, up stepped Shinya Hasegawa, who delivered a 3-run shot that gave the Lions a 3-0 lead. And that is how this one has ended. Across the line score on this one, Lions 3 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. Buffaloes, no runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. And once again, your final score is 3-0 for the Lions. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. Hopefully the voice holds up. It'll be Trevor Bauer for the Bay Stars, and he is going to go head-to-head against the Hiroshima Carp, and we'll bring you that one when we can. Have a great day, everybody. We really appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. And once again, we appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you soon.